Hard Knock Life. Been doing a lot of thinking. A lot of thinking. Since the beginning of 2013, I have invested probably every dollar, every bit of my energy, all of my time into Local Boy LLC, into improving it, into growing it, into making it a better company. I would say right now we are in our prime. I have amazing clients, I have an amazing team, and it was time to really start setting things up for long-term growth and success. One of the biggest problems that I had right off the bat was that I had this overhead of the office, and not only that, but also we were doing a lot of busy work. In 2016, I had hired a web development company to create custom software from scratch to do exactly what I know I needed done for my company. And what it did for us was amazing. For us, we used to have clients that would come in and meet with us in person. After putting all the pricing online, customers started booking there, and as time went on, we were having less meetings, but more bookings. So that was great, but I no longer needed to have a big office space. I really just needed to have a warehouse. The office was costing the business about $2,500 every month. And I knew one of my big goals for setting up long-term was to have our own office that Local Boy owned, that we didn't have to rent or lease out anymore. At the time I had a house and I had an office, and the cost of renting both of those was exponential. And I knew it would be much cheaper to actually just buy a large property, have it where I could have the office there and have my house there. The only problem is in 2017, the housing market was very healthy, and I was 100% not gonna find a deal like I found in 2011. It had to be a great place for me and Bianca to live, and it also had to have room for my warehouse for the business. One of the places that really caught my eye was Thatcher Manor. Now, Thatcher Manor is a very famous wedding venue in Southern California. It's been around for many years. It's hosted many events there. It's already zoned for events. And when I saw that it was for sale, I was very interested in it. What I loved about it was not only was it a very large property, I could also run my business there, and I could also host events there. So it seemed like just an amazing place. The homeowner was very particular here. They wanted somebody who was going to come in and continue the legacy and really had some great plans in place. I actually met with the homeowner, sat down with them, explained everything to them, sold them on my vision, and I brought out my builders to actually view the property. Now, Thatcher Manor was selling for over $1 million. So I had to put together an entire presentation. I took it into my bank, I showed them my ideas, I got my builders out there, and that's when the problems started to arise. The original owners had built a bunch of structures, but not many of them were up to code, and many of them had very unique things happening with them. Not only that, but throughout the property there was significant water damage. I knew I was going to have to do a lot of work on every single building, and my builders explained to me that, Ross, best case scenario here, you'll be working to build this place back up to what it was, but it'll never be perfect. Long story short, it was going to be a money pit. It was never going to be exactly what I wanted aside from tearing everything down and building from scratch. I decided to actually walk away from Thatcher Manor. Hey, Mar. Note to self, don't eat protein pancakes without syrup. It tastes like eating a protein shake dry.
34, lots of little disclosures with that.
What's our price on this one? $339, that's right. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Each one of these properties today is very unique. I want something with at least half an acre, something ranch style home, and I don't mind a fixer upper. You know, I've had the cookie cutter, looking for something a little different.
It is $359. It's on the market for 131 days.
Is it doing it already?
Yeah. It's really cool. It sucks all the hot air out.
Wow.
Is that awesome?
Yeah, it looks like a barn fan.
Yeah, it just sucks all the hot air out.
Now that I was back on the hunt, my real estate agent was great. She took me around to all different places. I looked at many different houses, many different properties, and I narrowed it down to 3 properties. Property number 1. This was definitely my favorite house. It was listed for $500,000. Everything was very modern. It had a beautiful bathroom, a really nice kitchen. It had a pool and a jacuzzi. Now, even though the lot was 0.72 of an acre, there was a lot of slope and a lot of unusable land space. It did have a small building, but it just wasn't gonna be big enough for our local boy warehouse. Property number 2. The property was very large. It was selling for $350,000. It had multiple small buildings on it. It was zoned A1 agriculture, and I could put my business on here. I'm walking the grounds, I'm way back here, and look, there's already a hose line. Ready to go. Not even halfway through walking the property, and there's so much more here than I realized. This whole cement slab here was built for more or less a trailer. Look, they have Ethernet ports running over, another water line, and then if I look over here, we got another cement patio, and guess what? Another water line. Look at this. Yeah, crazy. The cons, it was an old 1920s home. It was not my dream home by any means. I just looked at it as the property. I loved how large the property was. Not only that, but the property was not developed. I knew it was gonna be a ton of work. There was no warehouse. I would have to build a brand new building for a local boy. Property number 3. This three bedroom, 2-bath home was This 3-bedroom, 2-bath home was listed for $415,000. While the house wasn't too big, wasn't too amazing, it was nice. It was on half an acre. While the property wasn't too large, it was developed. Oh, I'm sorry. You want a hello? In the back of the property, there already was a garage that they had built. Now, this wasn't quite going to be big enough for our warehouse, but we could get by if we had to. I had been searching for a property now for over 8 months, and there just wasn't anything new coming out of the market, and it was time to act now. So I had to decide, was I going to go with property 2, or was I going to go with property 3? And that, my friends, is a story for the next... No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you guys right now. The property that I selected and that I put an offer on was property number 2. Now in Southern California, it's very hard to find anything over 1 acre, let alone 2 acres, and this particular property was 2.5 acres. There was a lot of interest in it. The bank had taken possession of the property the year prior, had flipped the house, done a ton of improvements on it, but the bank had basically bought it for $190,000, and then a year later after the improvements, had it listed for $350,000. I put in an offer at $350,000, but I was in a bidding war against several other contenders. They all wanted the property. I ended up putting in an offer for $375,000, and I got the property. To be honest with you, I overpaid for the property. A lot. And I know I did. And really what it came down to was I was looking at the big picture though. I knew if even another year went by where I was having the office overhead costs, I would be fine in the long run. Or at least I hoped. I couldn't be more excited that I got the property, but truth be told, the work was just getting started, and the story could finally begin. Welcome to Life at Home.